being one of the most photographed women on the planet, yet somehow being accused of having the self-identity of a blank Polaroid. It is a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? One moment you are a Hollywood starlet, the next you are a senior royal, and now, you are apparently a character in a high-stakes drama that even Netflix is starting to find a bit too expensive to produce. But according to some, the mask is beginning to slip, and the cracks are showing up in the most public of places, like the front row of the NBA All-Star Game in the heart of Los Angeles. Quick favor, if you are loving this deep dive into the royal circus, hit that subscribe button and click the notifications bell icon. Over 92% of our viewers haven't joined the family yet. It is entirely free, takes a mere second, and it means the absolute world to us here at Royal Fusion TV. Thank you for doing that. Now, back to the show. We start today with the sharp-tongued Megyn Kelly, a woman who treats subtlety like a distant, annoying relative. On a recent episode of The Megyn Kelly Show, she didn't just critique Meghan Markle, she performed a full-scale forensic audit of her personality. Kelly's central thesis? Meghan Markle doesn't actually know who she is. She isn't living a life, she is playing a role. And let's be honest, if this were a film, the critics would be absolutely pilling on the one-star reviews right about now. Kelly's argument is that the Duchess is so hyperfixated on her public image that she has become a walking, talking PR strategy. It is like watching someone try to assemble IKEA furniture without the instructions. There is a lot of effort, a fair bit of sweating, and in the end, something just doesn't look quite right. When you spend every waking moment wondering how the lens is capturing your good side, do you eventually lose sight of the person standing behind the camera? Kelly seems to think so, suggesting that the insecurity regarding her public standing has turned her marriage into a staged production where the script is written in real time. But wait, the plot thickens faster than a bowl of overcooked porridge. Let's talk about the privacy paradox. We have been told, repeatedly, that the Sussexes moved across the pond to escape the prying eyes of the British press. They wanted the quiet life. The simple life. So, naturally, where do you go for a bit of low-key downtime? Why, courtside at the 2026 NBA All-Star Game, sitting right next to Queen Latifah. Because nothing says "leave me alone" quite like sitting in the splash zone of global television cameras while LeBron James does his thing 5 feet away. Megyn Kelly was quick to pounce on this irony. It is the equivalent of saying you hate the rain while standing directly under a waterfall. If you truly loathe the limelight, you don't sit in the one seat in the arena where the kiss cam is legally obligated to find you. This recent outing has been used as Exhibit A in the case against Meghan's supposed desire for a private life. It suggests that the privacy they seek is actually just controlled publicity. They don't want the press to leave, they want the press to follow the script. And when the press starts ad-libbing, or worse, when the ratings for their Netflix shows like With Love, Meghan start to tank, that is when the trouble begins. Now, if you thought the seating arrangements were dramatic, wait until we get to the viral interaction. You know the one. It has been looped more times than a catchy pop song on TikTok. In the clip, Prince Harry is looking away, seemingly lost in thought, or perhaps just wondering if he left the oven on back at the Montecito mansion. Meghan, ever the director, reaches out and touches his arm, seemingly redirecting him back to the task at hand. What was that task? According to Megyn Kelly, it was the shot. Kelly's interpretation is punchy and rather brutal. She suggests Meghan's internal monologue was, "Darling, this is the whole reason we are here. Look into the camera and get me my shot. If you are not looking, they are not looking at me." It is a scathing take, implying that Harry is less of a partner and more of a prop in the Duchess's grand cinematic universe. Whether you see it as a supportive wife or a micromanaging lead actress, the optics were, shall we say, a bit stiff. It's the kind of high-tension moment usually reserved for a season finale cliffhanger where you aren't sure. This brings us to the most stinging accusation of all, that Meghan has been playing this role since the very beginning. Kelly points out that the couple married in 2018 after less than 2 years of dating. In the world of royal courtship, that is practically a London minute. The suggestion here is that the Duchess didn't just join the royal family, she auditioned for it. And once she got the part, she realized the script involved far more ribbon-cutting in the rain and far less red carpet glamour than she had anticipated. The problem with playing a role is that eventually, the curtain has to fall. You cannot maintain a performance 24 hours a day without becoming exhausted. Kelly argues that Meghan's struggle with the press isn't just about the headlines, it is about the fact that she hasn't found a settled version of herself that exists outside of the media's gaze. It is a bit like a chameleon that has sat on a plaid blanket. Eventually, it just gets confused and gives up. If she doesn't know who she is, how is the public supposed to figure it out? And now, with reports that her lifestyle brand is struggling to find its feet and Netflix potentially pulling the plug on further seasons of her show, the stakes for this performance have never been higher. At the heart of all this critique is a very modern problem: the obsession with brand over being. We live in an era where everyone is a brand, but when you are a Duchess, the stakes are astronomical. The insecurity Megyn Kelly highlights isn't just about vanity, it is about the desperate need to control a narrative that has long since grown legs and run away. The more the Sussexes try to polish their image, appearing at Sundance or filming documentaries about Girl Scouts, the more the public seems to look for the scuff marks on the floor. It is an exhausting cycle. If you are too private, you are cold. If you are too public, you are a sweaty try-hard, as Kelly so eloquently put it. But Kelly's point is that if you have a strong sense of self-identity, these external opinions shouldn't cause such a visible franticness. The unusual behavior noted at the NBA game might just be the physical manifestation of someone trying far too hard to look like they aren't trying at all. It is the ultimate paradox of the modern celebrity royal, wanting to be seen, but only in high definition. And with the perfect filter. As we look toward the future, the Sussexes are reportedly planning a massive return to Australia in mid-April 2026. This will be their first trip back since that 2018 tour where the world first fell in love with them. But the world is a different place now. Back then, they were the rising stars of the House of Windsor. Now, they are private citizens charting their own path through the treacherous waters of Hollywood and international brand building. Will this Australian tour be the redemption the Duchess is reportedly seeking? Or will it be another series of highly choreographed photo ops that invite even more scrutiny from the likes of Megyn Kelly? The public can sniff out a performance from a mile away, and right now, the royal fusion is looking a little more like a royal fumble. Can Meghan find her true identity outside of the Duchess brand, or is the role now so ingrained that the actress and the character have become one and the same? The reality is that being authentic is the hardest job in the world when your entire livelihood depends on how people perceive you. Whether you find Megyn Kelly's comments to be insightful or unnecessarily harsh, they tap into a growing sentiment. People are tired of the polished veneer. They want to see the person, not the persona. And until the Duchess of Sussex decides which one she wants to be, the cameras and the critics aren't going anywhere. Good day, and thank you for watching Royal Fusion TV.